Hey guys, Dr. Kori here at The Diet Doc, and welcome to your Monday Motivational Mastery session. I think this is episode 13. Hope everyone had a great weekend, and if you celebrated, I hope you took the time to kind of take an assessment and identify what you are most grateful for and the gifts that you have in your life. It's obviously something that we should not need a holiday to do. Our happiness is our responsibility, right? And research shows one of the best ways to elevate and amplify our level of joy and engagement in life, which often produces a greater level of happiness, is to make the time every single day to identify what we're grateful for. So I'm grateful to be able to do this with you here this morning. And here was the question from a client that we're going to dig into today. This session is called 3 Ways to Overcome Obstacles. All right, here's the question. Given that nutrition, sleep, recovery are on point, but you mentally psych yourself out when going for a new PR, okay, this personal record. Someone is obviously training on a squat. How do you overcome that? What specific mental state or focus or mantra or tactic would be best? So first, I want to acknowledge that the reality is that if we have goals, we are also going to have challenges. Expect that, okay? And so then with challenges, then we understand that there are going to be struggles. And without struggles, there actually is little to no progress. So key number 1 would be to always, being very black and white here, always look at obstacles as opportunities. So if we have goals and we're pursuing something, typically when we set a goal, right, we are aiming our sights at a very specific outcome. But if we're always focusing on that outcome, then what are we not paying attention to? We are not paying attention to and aiming at cultivating, producing, okay, the behaviors and the mindset that are necessary to get to that outcome. So in other words, we have to train the performance of the person that we need to be to actually achieve that goal that we've set. So when we set the goal, when we're actually setting it, deciding what we want to achieve, that's when we're focusing on the outcome. And then when we are training and preparing for that outcome, that's when what we focus on is, guess what? The process, all right? The process is a practice. We are practicing becoming the person who can achieve the goal. So what would a person who desires to be at their most optimal strength do? How would that person think? How would that person act and behave? What would a person who desires to be the best personal trainer do? What would that person think? How would they think? What would a person who desires to be the best mom or the best partner do and think? How would they behave? These are the questions you want to ask yourself as you've looked at the outcome you want to achieve and then how you're going to practice. So in this case, this person is paying attention to nutrition, they're optimizing their sleep, they're scheduling in recovery, it sounds like. So they probably have recovery workouts, they're supplementing appropriately, they've got active rest scheduled. All that stuff is on point. But what I'm not hearing is the attention being paid to a mental practice. And so this would be how this person would overcome the concept of psyching yourself out. Because what psyching yourself out is really, it's reacting instead of responding. It's the sign to me of an impulsive mind. And how do we tame impulsivity? Well, we practice focusing our attention. And so this is number 2. We have to focus on what we need to do, not on what we don't. Okay? So we need to mentally rehearse the positive actions, the positive thoughts, and the positive behaviors and ways of being that actually bring us closer to the desired outcome, because we are becoming the person who can achieve that outcome. So we have to mentally rehearse the best performance, okay? And then we have to bring to mind and recall the times when we have behaved and we have thought in a very effective way. We have to replay those times over and over and over again. This is mental rehearsal. So this is about practicing the best execution too when we're not in the actual pressure-filled situation. So what we're doing is it's called imprinting. We're imprinting this consciously because we're doing it deliberately. And then what happens is when we're actually in the game, or we're under the bar, or we're in a discussion with a coworker or our partner, the subconscious is what works for us, okay? It instigates the behaviors and the thoughts based on the practices that we did deliberately. Amazing stuff. So I've said before that everything we do, everything we feel, everything we think has the potential to become a habit, positive or negative. So my question to you is, what are you habituating to? Because that's up to you. So here's number 3. Psych yourself up instead of out. So if this person is getting psyched out, here's what it tells me. That he's letting his attention land in the wrong spot, okay? He's letting his attention land on what he should not be doing, and he's not focusing on the positive process that he's rehearsed previously, and perhaps he hasn't done any sort of rehearsal, and that's what needs to happen. But when I hear psyched out, I think of a very diffuse, dispersed sort of attention, kind of like birdshot. The aim is not fine enough, okay? It's not precise. And so imagine it's like talking to someone and you're trying to articulate your thoughts, and then someone else walks in and is talking in your other ear, right? And you're trying to figure out, what was I just saying? And wait, what are you telling me here? We don't know where to put our attention. So it's like fire drills are going off and we don't know where to focus. So we have to train ourselves to aim at one signal, and then let all the other noise go. And that takes practice. I just thought of a parent who's having a conversation maybe with another parent, and they're talking, and then their kid walks up, and the kid's tugging at their pant leg, right? And the mom, deliberately noticing that this kid is distracting me from being able to pay attention to this conversation, says, "Excuse me for a moment," turns around and puts her full attention on the child, right? Finishes that conversation, then comes back to the adult conversation. So what she's doing is she's redirecting her attention So she doesn't have to have 2 conversations at once because she can't. So it's all about the direction and the aim of the attention, right? So here's the last thing that I think is really important is that you need to end this session every time you're practicing your squat. End the session with an assessment. And it's not an assessment of the things that were done wrong, okay? It's an assessment of what I need to do. And it's framed not in an I should not do this way, not that way. It's framed in an I will improve by executing fill in the blank, okay? So if something needs work, what needs doing, not undoing. So what we're doing, again, is we're imprinting the good. We are imprinting the positive. We are mentally rehearsing how we want to perform, not how we don't. All right, guys. Think about how you can implement these strategies into your life in all contexts. Okay, I'll review the 3 ways to overcome obstacles. Always look at obstacles as opportunities. Focus on what you need to do, not what you don't, and then psych yourself up. All right, have an awesome day, an awesome week. I'm psyched up. Are you?